The Florida Gators narrowly escaped an upset against Florida State. We got some impact from Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland, and Alex Condon frustrates the hell out of me. Tell me how. All-American?
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily just in the podcast and on YouTube. I am Brandon Olsen, lifelong Florida Gators fan. Find all my written work about the Florida Gators with swampsignal.substack.com. This game was frustrating for, I want to say, more than half of it. What's up, everybody in the chat, by the way? Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, review, do whatever it is you want to do. Throw a question, comment, concern you have. If you're new here, the way that we usually do this is, especially these live shows, they kind of go off the rails sometimes. We're going to talk about this game. We'll talk about basically everything that gets said in the chat. But this is a Florida Gators team that is going to be really frustrating. There's no other way to put it. I spent the offseason saying that I thought this team would be a worse three-point shooting team than last year. I didn't think they'd be this bad. They shot six, like they went into the game shooting 22% from three. They lowered their three-point shooting percentage. They shot 6 for 31, 19% in this game. Plain and simple, like, first off, I will say, I don't even know. Do we have a FanDuel read later, so I'll mention this again later. But I will say I had Florida to win the game, but Florida State to cover the spread. Had that. I had another one that would have been even more money. That was Florida to win the first half and the full game, but they didn't do that one. But this is something I mentioned on this morning's Locked On Gators episode, is that I think this team is frustrating at times. And I think that when you have a matchup like Florida State, who they like to run, they like to shoot a ton of threes, Florida's not going to blow those teams out. The spread in this game this morning was 18.5. It was, I think, down to 16.5 by the time they tipped off. But Florida was not covering that spread. Florida's not blowing out a team that can shoot threes. And like through the first half, these teams were shooting identical except for from three. I remember I tweeted out the numbers about it. Florida was down by 3 at the half. Both teams were shooting 12 for 32 from the field. Both teams were shooting 11 for 13 from the free throw line, but Florida was 2 for 14 from 3, and Florida State was 5 for 15 from 3. Those three made three-pointers, they had the same number of field goal attempts, so it was just 3 more three-pointers, or just 1 extra point on all those field goal attempts. That was the difference in the first half. Florida's a team that can absolutely annihilate a team on the rebounds, or on the glass. I don't know why I said on the rebounds, but on the glass, and still be in a dogfight. That's all it was. Florida won the rebounding battle by 22. Florida had more defensive rebounds than Florida State had rebounds. Okay? But Florida missed 25 three-pointers. Florida missed 10 free throws. And we'll say 9, because the last one was intentional. But Florida also turned the ball over 18 times. Florida was plus 22 on the glass, minus 8 in turnovers. I mean, you're not going to win games against great teams. Like Florida State, I think, is better than people give them credit for. I said that this morning, but I don't think they're a great team at all. And Florida got into a dogfight with them You face a team that's better than Florida State and shoots a lot of threes, you're going to be in some serious trouble if you're Florida. It's as simple as that, right? Like, you don't have anybody that's a legitimate threat from three right now. At least a consistent one at that, too. And Xavier Lee is trying to find his shot. He's putting up shots. Boogie Fland was putting up shots earlier. Boogie had 1-3 that was like early-ish in the shot clock. He just did a quick little dribble. I think it was like 2 between the legs and then just pulled it. And there was no need for it. Like, it wasn't a great shot. It wasn't a great idea. And of course he missed it. He finally hit a 3 for the first time this season. He's 2 for 7 from 3 this game. Xavier Lee went 1 for 10 from 3. Your big time transfers went 3 for 17 from 3. You're not winning Jack Diddley if that's what they're shooting. Alex Condon, 6 turnovers. For the second time in 3 games, Alex Condon has turned the ball over 6 times. During the SEC tournament and during March Madness last year, I was pretty critical of Alex Condon. I was. And I kept getting people in the comments talking about, you're being too harsh on him. He's playing banged up. He's got his ankles hurting him. What's the excuse now 6 months later? 7 months later? What's the excuse now 7 months later? From the time I started giving him stuff for it, we're at 8 months. What's the excuse there? Because he's still doing the same thing. I don't care about the ankle that was bothering him earlier in the year. I care about the mental mistakes that he constantly makes. The turnovers are just unacceptable. They are. You can't protect the ball. You are 0 for 2 from 3. Like, you're not shooting the ball. You can't protect the ball. 3rd on the team in rebounds in this one, which, by the way, Ruben Chinyelu, holy, dude is feasting on the glass in this one. Tommy Houck is feasting on the glass. Tommy Houck is genuinely, if he keeps up this level of play, is going to be in consideration for Player of the Year. Like, he is. He had 20 and 13 tonight. With 3 assists, 2 blocks, shot 7 for 15 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, 4 for 7 from the free throw line, but again, really 4 for 6. One of them was an intentional miss. This team they're good. Like, they're a good team. But not being able to shoot the 3 ball just might be the killer for them. Like, it really might. Because you also got lucky. The Florida State shot worse from 3 tonight than they did in any other of their first 2 games. Like, Florida, wide open looks. Wide open. And they're bad bricks. Awful. And like Xavier Lee, 2 for 13 tonight. I mean, that's just unacceptable. And I know like one shooting performance isn't going to be what dictates how good or bad you are, but like he has not been efficient shooting the ball. And I kind of respect him going, I'm going to get out of this. Like, I'm going to shoot my way out of this. But the 10 3-pointers, like, you shouldn't take 3 2-point attempts. Like, Florida should be running way more pick and roll than they're running, more dribble handoffs even. Like, I'm fine with that, but like, you've got to figure out ways to really attack the paint. If you're going to go with this big lineup of Alex Condon, Ruben Chinyelu, and Tommy Houck, you need to be able to attack the paint. Ruben Chinyelu, he's not going to do Jack Diddley as a scorer outside of that paint. Let him attack the paint. Alex Condon, going to be way better in the paint than outside. Let him attack the paint. Run the pick and roll and figure it out that way. I'm fine. If you want to pick and pop with Alex Condon, that's cool with me too. Like, he's not a great shooter, right? But if you're getting him open looks, I'm fine with it. I really am. Because like, he's shown that he can knock them down at least at times. He has not played well this year to start the year, at least. I know it's been 3 games. But like he's someone who I do still think you can have faith in and kind of say, hey, the guys that are slumping, we can get them out of the slumps. Right now, Tommy Hauck is driving this team. Ruben Chinulu, like if Chinulu didn't have a career high 16 rebounds in this game, you lose. Again, you destroyed them on the glass and you won by 2. I know that I was, again, this offseason, like I was saying, hey, I don't think that this team's going to be a national championship contender. I want them to be, but I don't think that they've got that explosive ability. They don't have the guy that gets hot like that. They don't have great 3-point shooters. Like they're not going to be a team that can come back from behind very often, especially if it's a big lead or a big deficit, I guess. But I think that some of what we've seen is even worse than I anticipated. I do like kind of the approach that Todd Golden took with some players of young guys making mistakes against the press. They took him out. Isaiah Brown came in, played a few minutes on one of the inbounds. They gave it to, I think it was Boogie or Lee, and he passed it out of the press, passed it to Isaiah Brown. And Isaiah Brown tried just like hero balling it, I guess, where he was just like, I'm just going to dribble through this on my own. Turned it over. Next dead ball, turned it over. Florida State turned it back over, passing it downfield or down court. And then Isaiah Brown came right out of the game. And like, I respect that. I do. Because you're going to go, hey, if you can't handle the press, you're not going to be out there. Because Alex Conlon's turnovers weren't really against the press. It was like while he was just ball handling in the half court, making some mistakes, making bad passes. I don't know what it is with him right now, but he's got to figure this thing out if he's going to become the All-American that a lot of media falsely said that he is this year. We're going to talk more about this game. We'll get to the chat when we get back with Locked On Gators. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of a game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. I will look at my FanDuel bets right now. If I can find them. Jalen Brunson made his threes. I need Peyton Pritchard to do the same, and I need Aaron Nesmith to do the same. Thank you very much. Would appreciate that. Would appreciate that a ton. Need Tyrese Maxey to score some more points as well. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And college football is wrapping up, Florida Gators fans. You got 2 more home games this year. The tailgates, the rivalries, which both of the home games are, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing like it. Let's be real, though. Actually getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself sometimes. That's why I use Game Time, right? The app that gives the advantage back to fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fee, so that what you see is what you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Thanks again for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. Every day we are available daily and free, whether it's in the podcast and on YouTube. And to wrap up the rest of the show, we're going to go through the chat here. And I'm going all the way back to the beginning here, which we usually do with basketball. Football, not so much because there's way more going on. Ben Ponson said that was the last 3 minutes was the lowest IQ of basketball I think I've ever seen. And our All-American was more of a liability tonight. Yeah, Alex Condon has been incredibly frustrating. Mentioned it during the SEC basketball tournament, mentioned it during March Madness. he plays incredibly frustrating basketball at times where he seems to forget he's playing basketball. The national championship game? He had like 2 travels. Tonight he had a travel. Like sometimes he forgets he's not playing Aussie rules football anymore. It's crazy. But Alex Collins, and look, he's still someone that has a very high ceiling. He does. He's athletic. He can contest shots and block shots. He's shown the ability to hit the 3, not consistently, but he's shown the ability to hit the 3. Usually a pretty good rebounder. Like he's shown a lot of promise. But there's just sometimes you got to like you got to slow down. And I don't think he's learned how to do that yet. I've been one of his bigger critics for a long time now. And I will say, like, I still believe he could be a very good basketball player. I just don't think he's there right now. When he's on, he's great. When he's on, his passes are sick. He's just not been on at all this year. Got to figure it out somehow. I also think that he's one of those players where if you run more pick and roll or pick and pop, like, that's going to open up more opportunities for him to get easy looks. Get him easy looks. Get him, hopefully, conversions on those easy looks. And get his confidence back up and get him going. Because I do think it's very important to do that. We got Go Gators. Xavier Lee ain't it, guys. I'm not going to say that. Like, I know that people are very frustrated with both Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland right now because they're not shooting well, right? Like, again, combined 3 for 17 from the two of them. From 3, sorry. 3 for 17 from 3. Combined 7 for 24 from the field. Not shooting well. They're not efficient, right? Boogie Fland had his first turnover of the season today, and it was a shot clock violation. So it wasn't even a giveaway in the sense where the other team now has a fast break. It's a shot clock violation. Xavier Lee, I don't like the shooting. Love the way that he attacks the glass. Love the passing on a lot of his passes. He had one that I was like, oh, I don't know what the hell you were trying to do there. Where he did his whole like dribble into the paint, leave the paint, pass it to, I think it was Condon under the basket, and FSU defenders, 2 of them were right there and they stole it. Some things like that. It was a little predictable there, but I still believe in both Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. I think both of them need to focus on getting to the basket more. Like Boogie Fland, 11 field goal attempts, 7 threes. That's 4 2s, which he went 3 for 4 on, by the way. And his one miss was, I don't remember if the shot clock was running down or not, but it was like a turnaround fade from mid range that didn't seem like a shot he really wanted to take. Xavier Lee, 2 for 13, 1 for 3 from 2, 1 for 10 from 3. Like, I'm all for volume from 3. That's a lot for a guy that's not hitting them. And for a guy that, like, that's not supposed to be your strong suit. You're not supposed to be this big-time three-point shooter. Personally, I've said this before, like, I want A.J. Brown to play more. I know he's not great on defense. I will take that trade-off for someone that can shoot threes, and I think he might be the best pure three-point shooter on the team. So I would take that trade-off in a heartbeat. I would say that this teams need to be focused around Tommy Houck. I think the way that Houck is generating offense is great. I don't think he's someone you need to force the offense to. He puts himself in great spots for easy layups, easy dunks. He gets himself open from 3. He does everything. He's doing the gritty, dirty work. Like he does it all. Let him play his game. Like the way that he's playing now is awesome. You don't need to start forcing things. Let him play his game. Other guys around him need to elevate their play and start matching what he's bringing to the table right now. Because Tommy Houck is playing like he wants to go back-to-back. Ruben Chinilu tonight played like he wants to go back-to-back. Nobody else on the team is. Micah Hanlogton, sorry. I will give Micah Hanlogton that. But outside of that, nobody else really is. Xavier Lee is it. Give it a little time. He's going to turn it up. So is Boogie Fland. Yeah, again, like I know Boogie Fland's not shooting well. He's not shooting well from three, but he's doing a great job as a facilitator, or as a ball handler, I'll say. So for Boogie, I'm good. I think he's a great defender. Just got to, find that shot. I feel like he forces it a little bit. You need to tell him like, hey, like calm down a little bit. Let's get you to the paint. Great free throw shooter. Both Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee are great free throw shooters. Get them to the paint. If they get fouled, they get fouled. Expect them to convert around the rim. Call it a day. Boogie's great. Lee's a walking brick, man. He needs to play the point and Boogie the two. That's the thing. Like, I feel like this whole offseason, when I did the crossover with Leaf Tulane of Locked On Wildcats last week, or week and a half ago, I feel like everybody keeps harping on Boogie's playing the one, Xavier and Lee's playing the two. They're both getting a ton of opportunities to ball handle. Like, I don't care who's listed as the one, who's listed as the two. They're both getting a ton of opportunities to ball handle. And I think Boogie being matched up against the opposing team's point guard as a defender is great. 4 steals today for Boogie. He's made a habit of disrupting ball handlers' rhythm, disrupting passing lanes. Like, I like what Boogie's doing defensively. I like everything Boogie's doing except the shooting. But I have no real complaints outside of the shooting, which is obviously a pretty damn important part of basketball. I feel you, bro, but give X a little more time. Yeah, hey, like I said, I'm good with it. I'm frustrated. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not frustrated, but like there's a difference for me, at least, between being frustrated and wanting to give up on guys or saying that they're not it. I don't do that lightly. I don't do that often, and I'm not going to do that here. Like Alex Condon frustrates the hell out of me, but I still know that he's clearly someone with a high ceiling, and if you can get him to hit, you can get him to hit. Xavier Lee, shot selection cleans up, everything else will clean up around him. Boogie Fland, I don't think outside of that one off the dribble 3 he took that I was like, oh, I don't know what the hell that was. Really don't think he had a lot of shots where I was like, oh, that was a bad attempt. Like, that was a bad decision. Once it starts falling, it'll start falling. Yes, your team every day, JOB. That wasn't pretty, but I'll take it. Always a fun win, Brennan. What's up, Harrison? How you doing? Q said, I know it's early, but our guards have to get better. Absolutely. Q also said, tell your friends and family to like and subscribe. Tell your friends and family to like and subscribe. Tell a Gator fan to like and subscribe. Tell a Gator fan to check out Locked On Gators. If they hate me, they hate me. That's fine. All I'm saying is just tell them to check out Locked On Gators. FSU's a lot better than the last couple of years. Yeah. Bobbert to the rescue. Yeah, I said it earlier this morning. I think FSU's a lot more threatening than they've been in a long time because that style of play. They're playing really aggressive defense. They're shooting a lot of threes. Like, they're playing the style that wins right now in college basketball. The thing is, Florida's not. It makes FSU a lot scarier than they've been. 5 straight over the Noles. Lee almost lost them the game, not being able to buy a shot. What was he, 0 for 7 from 3? He was 1 for 10 from 3. Yeah, look, Lee is, I think my biggest issue with him is the shot selection. You don't need to be taking 10 threes and 3 2s. You don't need to be doing that. You should be trying to get to the paint more often, try to attack there. All that money spent. Hauk was big tonight. I think he was worse than 0 for 7, 1 for 10. Rue was cleaning glass tonight, a lot to clean up. Turnovers, Hauk and Boogie were huge tonight. Hard watch, TBH. Yes, Ike, it was. Lee needs to work on his shot arc. Yep, Matt, you are right. Had someone else tweet that. Had someone tweet that at me before. It might have been you. I don't remember who it was that tweeted it. But I had someone tweet at me that his shot's just straight line. Won the rebound battle. Yeah, destroyed the rebound battle. And That's a frustrating thing for me, right? Destroyed the rebound battle, barely won the game. That's really frustrating. Again, at least for me. Someone mentioned Aberdeen, right? Let's see. I miss Denzel too. Wish we would have kept him and not bought Lee. Look, like Denzel Aberdeen, by the way, having a great game tonight against Louisville. He's got 18 points right now. They still got 7 minutes, 50 seconds left in the second half. He's got 18 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal on 7 for 13 shooting, 4 for 7 from 3. So that would have been very welcome. That being said, Denzel Aberdeen left because Denzel Aberdeen wanted to leave. The bull crap about, he wants a coach that believes in him. He was on the court shooting free throws in the final minute of the national championship game. He had a coach that believed in him. He just wasn't starting, which he would have been this year, right? But that is what it is. I think when all the pieces come together, we're going to be a juggernaut. I don't know about that. I don't know, only because I don't know how much better this team is going to get at actually shooting threes. Like, they'll get to what? 30% from 3. And even then, with volume, probably not going to be even that good. Like, again, this is a team that's shooting really poorly from 3, and it's all of them. I don't know. That just tells me that they might not be great shooting threes right now. Like that they just might not be great 3-point shooters. If they're all struggling, I don't know. It's not like, just Xavier Lee went 1 for 10 and everyone else went decent. The only person that I say would have a decent percentage, Tommy Houck, and he shot 33%. No one's shooting well from 3. Houck is my favorite player so far. Yeah, he's going to be a lot of favorite players. He's going to be a lot of people's favorite player. Does everything that he does everything that you love in a basketball player. And I think everybody loves to see that. Would rather have Castleton than Condon. Castleton way better than Condon ever was. I would have loved to see Castleton on a team that Florida had, like last year's team. That would have been really fun, right? To have a low post scorer that's an actual threat down low. He's not as good a passer as Condon, and I don't think he's as good a defender. But I mean, Castleton would have been a lot of fun, right? Someone that can genuinely score in the low post, and then create for everything else. There we go. I miss Denzel too. Wish we would have bought him. Yeah. Condon has been more reliability than All-American, and I definitely thought Houck should have been on that list. Yeah, I think it's weird. Everybody agrees with that. Every Florida Gators fan is like, yeah, Tommy Houck should be on the list instead of Alex Condon. But the national media is like, who should be on this list? Alex Condon. This is a national championship caliber team. Let Boogie wake up. I don't know if this is a national championship caliber team. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I want them to be. But if you can't shoot threes, you're not going to win a national championship. Simple as that. Especially like if you're going to take 31 threes and shoot 19%, you don't stand a chance. No natty for this team, but a 100% deep run. Go Gators. I can see them making a deep run. Like Elite 8 is still something that I view as very feasible. Waiting to see how they play in conference play. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like we're talking about from 3 games. They can get better, right? But what we're talking about is what we have seen so far. What we have seen so far is that they are not a great 3-point shooting team. What we've seen so far is that they do not do a good job of protecting the basketball. Like we've seen those things so far. We've seen that they're still not great at shooting 3. It's somehow only been 5 seconds since I talked about Denzel Aberdeen's stats, by the way. That's weird. But we know what they are. Like you can improve in some of those areas and you can get better, but how much are you going to improve? How much better are you going to get? That'll determine a lot of this. Lee and Fland will figure it out. They're both really good when they go downhill. I would love it if they went downhill more. They'll settle in, from Simon says. We got way less worried about Fland than Xavier. Yeah, absolutely. This team will disappoint. What's up, T? Florida lost Tennessee football. Florida lost Tennessee football. Florida lost Tennessee football. Don't even know what that idiot's talking about. couldn't even tell you, going to be honest. You shoot 5 for 30 from 3, you're going to barely beat anyone. Yeah, right? But that's what this team is shooting right now. Like, that's what they're shooting. I would love it if they shot better, but that is what it is. At least they won. We could not watch practice to practice. I don't know what is going on there. Thank you for what you do, Brandon. Go Gators. Go Gators, Alan. By the way, fun little fact. Apparently, Billy Napier was at Georgia practice today. Do with that information what you want. It doesn't really matter. But I do think it's his first sighting since getting fired. So there's that. Still no thank you note or anything like that. And frankly, I don't know what he's gonna do for them that would matter. With like at least he waited, at least he waited till after Florida played them to start going around their practice, at least publicly, right? But yeah, that is really. I don't care. I'm not the type to really care about that. To be like, oh yeah, well, I care about Billy going to Georgia. I don't really give a damn what Billy does. He's not at Florida anymore. It is what it is. I wish him the best. Wish him all the happiness. But yeah, I don't really care about it. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free every single podcast and on YouTube. We've got a twofer for you tomorrow. Okay. In the morning, we've got the depth chart episode, and Hayden Hansen joins the show, as we always do on Wednesdays. And in the evening, don't have a set time yet, but in the evening, we've got Brian Smith from the portal, and we're going to talk about Florida, Lane Kiffin, transfer portal, recruiting, whole bunch of stuff. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first or second listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free if it's in the podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network in the world now, by the way. We did that. You helped us get there, and I thank you so much for that. I am Brandon Olsen. Find all my written work about the Florida Gators at swampsignal.substack.com, and I'll see you all next time.